There are moments in life when everything seems to fall apart at once. A plan you trusted collapses. Someone you relied on lets you down. A single message, a single event, and suddenly your inner world feels shaken. In moments like these, the mind doesn't whisper, it shouts. It rushes ahead, imagining worst outcomes, replaying mistakes, demanding answers that don't exist yet. But long before our time, a man faced the same inner chaos. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire stretched across the continents, yet his greatest battles were not on the battlefield. They were in his own mind. At night, by candlelight, he wrote reminders to himself, not to escape reality, but to meet it with clarity and calm. One of the truths he returned to again and again was simple but powerful. You cannot control what happens to you. You can only control how you meet it. Most of our suffering begins when we forget this. When things go wrong, we instinctively try to wrestle the world back into shape. We argue with reality. We resist what already is. And in that resistance, tension grows. Marcus gently reminds us to pause and ask, is this within my control? If it is not, then no amount of anger, worry, or overthinking will improve it. Releasing control is not giving up. It is choosing peace over a battle that cannot be won. The calm mind does not demand that life behave differently. It adapts. And yet, even when we accept what we cannot change, the mind has another habit. It adds weight where none is needed. An event happens. That is pain. Then the mind adds judgment, fear, and story. That is suffering. Marcus observed this clearly. He wrote that it is not events themselves that disturb us, but the meaning we attach to them. Two people can face the same difficulty. One remains steady, the other breaks. The difference is not strength, it is interpretation. When something goes wrong, notice the language of your thoughts. Are you saying, "This is unbearable," or simply, "This is happening"? The moment you remove drama from your inner voice, the moment you stop exaggerating the moment, your breath deepens, your shoulders soften, space returns. Calm is not created by force. It appears when we stop feeding the fire. Marcus also carried with him a perspective that few people dare to face. But once seen, it frees the soul. He reminded himself that everything passes. This moment you're in, no matter how heavy it feels, will not last forever. Time moves forward without asking permission. Empires fall, pain fades. Even the strongest emotions lose their grip. This is not meant to make life feel small. It is meant to make your worries feel lighter. When everything goes wrong, the mind believes this moment defines you. Marcus knew better. He zoomed out. He saw his life as one brief moment within nature's vast rhythm, and in that perspective, panic dissolves. You don't need to fix your entire future today. You don't need to understand everything now. You only need to meet this moment with dignity. Marcus believed that calm is not something you wait for. It is something you practice. Each time you respond instead of react. Each time you choose clarity over chaos. Each time you remind yourself of what truly matters. And what matters, above all, is the state of your mind. Because the world will always change. People will always disappoint. Plans will always break. But if you learn to govern your inner world, no outer storm can truly shake you. Marcus Aurelius did not seek a quiet life. He sought a steady soul. And that same strength is available to you. So the next time everything goes wrong, pause, breathe, release what you cannot control. Strip away unnecessary suffering. Remember how brief this moment truly is. Then move forward, not with fear, but with calm resolve. Because a peaceful mind is not a gift from life, it is a decision you make, again and again. And in that decision, you become unshakable. And once you begin to see this, something quiet but profound starts to change inside you. You stop expecting the world to be gentle. Marcus Aurelius never asked life to be kind. He asked himself to be ready. This is where his wisdom becomes deeply practical, especially in a world like ours, loud, fast, and constantly pulling at our attention. Our days are filled with noise, notifications, opinions, breaking news, endless comparisons. The mind is rarely allowed to rest, and when chaos arrives, it feels sharper, heavier, more personal. But Marcus would remind you that chaos is not new. Only its costumes have changed. He woke each morning expecting difficulty, not with dread, but with clarity. He told himself that he would meet interference, arrogance, dishonesty, and frustration, not because he was pessimistic, but because he understood human nature. By expecting life to challenge him, he removed its power to surprise him. Imagine beginning your day like that, not bracing for disaster, but calmly prepared for reality. When problems arise, instead of thinking, "Why is this happening to me?" you think, "This is part of being alive." And in that shift, tension loosens. This leads us to one of the most misunderstood yet powerful Stoic ideas, amor fati. To love your fate, not to tolerate it, not to endure it with clenched teeth, but to welcome it. Marcus believed that everything that happens to you is raw material, even setbacks, even loss, even pain. Nature, he said, does nothing without reason. What seems like an obstacle is often an invitation to grow stronger, wiser, or more compassionate. In modern life, we are taught to resist discomfort at all costs, to scroll past it, to numb it, to outrun it, but resistance only deepens the wound. Amor fati asks something radical. What if this difficulty is not against you, but for you? What if the delay is teaching patience? What if the failure is reshaping your values? What if the loss is clearing space for something more honest? Loving your fate does not mean enjoying suffering. It means trusting that whatever arrives can be transformed. Marcus wrote that fire does not resist what's thrown into it. It turns everything into flame. So when life gives you something heavy, do not ask how to escape it. Ask how to use it. This is how calm becomes power. And this is where the idea of the inner citadel begins to take shape. Marcus imagined the mind as a fortress, high walls, deep foundations, a place no external force could invade unless invited. Inside this citadel lived reason, values, and choice. Outside lived chaos. In our time, this fortress is under constant siege. Opinions crash into us daily. Algorithms tug at our attention. The emotional states of others try to spill into our own. But the Stoic knows a secret. Nothing enters the inner world without permission. You cannot stop the knock at the gate, but you can decide whether to open it. Building the inner citadel begins with awareness. When anger rises, you notice it. When anxiety whispers, you listen without obeying. When temptation appears, you pause. This pause is everything. Marcus practiced this relentlessly. He reminded himself that emotions are visitors, not rulers. They arrive, they speak, and they leave if you allow them to. Your job is not to destroy emotions, but to govern them. In modern chaos, this might look like stepping back from constant outrage, choosing silence over reaction, turning off the noise when it serves no purpose. It might mean asking, is this worth my inner peace? Most things are not. The inner citadel is also built through daily discipline. Not grand gestures, but small acts of alignment, acting with integrity when no one is watching, speaking truth calmly, doing what is right even when it is inconvenient. Marcus believed that a good life is not measured by comfort, but by character. And here is the quiet truth he lived by. If you do what is right, nothing can truly harm you. Reputation may suffer, plans may fail, comfort may disappear, but your core remains untouched. That is true freedom. As you walk through your days, imagine carrying this citadel with you, in traffic, in conflict, in uncertainty, a place inside that remains still while the world moves around it. And when life throws its hardest moments at you, and it will, remember this: you are not promised ease. You were given strength. You were not meant to control the world. You were meant to master yourself. Marcus Aurelius never escaped hardship. He faced it fully, calmly, and with dignity. And in doing so, he left behind a map, not to a perfect life, but to a resilient soul. So when modern chaos rises, stand still within yourself, love your fate, fortify your inner walls, turn obstacles into fuel. Because a mind at peace is not fragile, it is unbreakable. And once you have built this inner citadel, no storm, external or internal, can take it from you.